haven't been doing all that well. My mother has lupus, so he put on too much for himself.
Hallelujah. I'm going to do announcements, and I don't have my list. So anyway, are we doing the meeting today after church? Okay, after church we're having a board meeting. Also, this coming month is the month of October is Pastor Appreciation Month. So if anybody wants to bless Pastor Bonnie, then it's just a reminder that this month is Pastor Appreciation. We're going to be having another work day to finish up the kids' church and get all that cleared out, to finish organizing the books and clear out the rest of the stuff in the fellowship hall and finish up the altar area. And so those of you that can do it, give us days that are good for you. And
when?
most of us Saturdays are the best.
I gotta work Saturday.
I'm not talking about this Saturday, we're throwing out a day, baby. So whatever days work best for you all, then we'll get a consensus on what day is the best to do. But usually it's the Saturdays, whether it be this Saturday or next Saturday, or even during the week for just a few that don't have to work. So just be thinking about what's good for your schedule, and then we'll get a day or two to go, and hopefully we can get this finished and be ready. We'd like to have a potluck for Thanksgiving, so it'd be nice to have it all done by Thanksgiving. So we can have it here in the church. Jamie, can you think of anything else?
Looks like there was something else, but I can't remember what
It seems like it was to me too, and I can't remember either. Anyway, if we think about it, we'll let you know what it is. But I was checking, reading my emails yesterday, the day before yesterday, and this, I don't know if y'all know her or not, but her name is, she's a prophetess. Her name's Jennifer LeClaire. And she said she had just gotten a prophetic warning, and it spoke to me, so I'm going to share it with you all. And it's just a warning, so it's a be on guard. And it says, prophetic warning, spirit of betrayal loosed in the earth. And I know there's not any of us that goes through life without having some form of betrayal at some point in life, where someone just, and it usually blows you away because you didn't see it coming, and it's usually by someone you trusted. Okay. She says, be warned, the Holy Spirit told me the spirit of betrayal has been loosed in the earth. This spirit is crafty and can only stab you in the back after it has walked beside you long enough to earn your trust. This shouldn't surprise us. Jesus spoke of an end times reality that we are seeing right now. He said, many will betray one another. And this would be Matthew 24:10. The spirit of betrayal, like many other spirits, works through people. It's hard to discern until it manifests, and it's almost always a blind side. If we saw betrayal schemes before they manifested, we would get out of the pathway of its double-edged sword and avoid a bloody back. The spirit of betrayal is more subtle than you think. Betrayal has to seduce you before it can stab you. So I would say it probably has a seducing spirit and a spirit of betrayal that are working in conjunction together. Betrayal is treacherous. Someone operating in this spirit will tell your secrets for personal gain, abandon you in a time of need, work craftily to take what's yours right under your nose, and otherwise demonstrate who they really are at a critical time. And that's one thing, it's usually at a critical time. It's like kick you when you're down. Et tu, Brute. As a student of Latin in high school, we learned how Brutus betrayed Roman dictator Julius Caesar. Brutus was the ruler's close friend, yet took part in a coup to assassinate him. When Julius recognized Brutus as one of the assailing parties, he said, Et tu, Brute? Which means, you too, Brutus? At least, that's the account of the historical event from Shakespeare. The British playwright may have been drawing some imagery from the life of Jesus, as Christ faced a similar episode. Luke 22, 3-6 gives a familiar account. Verse 3, and Satan entered into Judas, who was called Iscariot, being of the number of the 12, and he went away and communed with the chief priests and captains, how he might deliver him unto them. And they were glad, and covenanted to give him money. And he consented and sought opportunity to deliver him unto them in the absence of the multitude. Now, don't gloss over this Garden of Gethsemane event too quickly, or you miss the point. So this is prior to Gethsemane. Now you fast forward to Gethsemane in chapter 22, verse 47. And while he was still speaking, behold, a multitude, and he who was called Judas, one of the 12, went before them and drew near to Jesus to kiss him. But Jesus said to him, Judas, are you betraying the Son of Man with a kiss? Another gospel puts it this way. While he was still speaking, Judas, one of the 12, arrived. With him was a large crowd armed with swords and clubs sent from the chief priests and the elders of the people. Now the betrayer had arranged a signal with them. The one I kiss is the man. Arrest him. Going at once to Jesus, Judas said, Greetings, Rabbi, and kissed him. Jesus replied, Do what you came for, friend. That's Matthew 26, 47-50. The difference between Jesus and Julius, and most of us, is Jesus saw the betrayal coming. Most of us do not. I will say this, Jesus saw the betrayal coming because he was in close communion with the Father. The Father revealed everything to him, so he knew, he had that discernment. Most of us do not, but notice how these betrayals came from friends. You can expand friends to include business partners, co-workers, employers, pastors, spiritual, sons and daughters, and so on. And you can even include it to be family. Betrayal takes on many different faces, but it always has the same treacherous agenda to advance on your back. And actually in the last days it does say that sons will turn against fathers and so on, so it would be family. I've spoken in the past about a season of betrayal, but this has advanced with the actual spirit of betrayal loosed in the earth. That spirit will rest on people and influence them against you. There are many reasons why people betray people. Disappointment seems to be a prime motivator. Remember, Judas betrayed Jesus because he wasn't rising up as a king in the natural realm. When people expect you to be something they are not, they set you up for a fall in their own eyes and often murder your reputation. Ungodly ambitions drive people to betray you. Some people will use you to get an open door, but as soon as you open the door, they will slam the door shut in your face. And you know, when I read that, I thought about Pastor Michael. How many doors he opened for beginning ministries and things. And then as they progressed and got a name for themselves, that pretty much, they would come if it benefited them to come, but you never heard them saying, you know, that this small church, this small pastor opened doors and promoted me. You didn't hear that. Once they had the doors open, then they kind of slam them in his face and no credit's given. Greed is a common denominator in many betrayals. Some people will do just about anything for money, including selling out a close friend to make a business deal. Then there's deception. Some betrayers did this dirty deed because they thought you'd betray them first. I'm gonna get them before they get me. They want to get you before you get them. Okay. Put the words right now. The enemy has convinced them that you are the enemy. Most betrayal is wrapped in the deception of justification. I was justified for it. Yeah. Betrayers feel justified in their wicked works of darkness. Guarding against spirits of betrayal, the spirit of betrayal. How do we guard against this spirit? How should we respond to this prophetic insight? From a natural perspective, we need to be slow to forge contracts and covenants. We need to be careful about sharing sensitive information with people we don't know well. We need to look for changes in behavior and have serious conversations with those who seem to be acting erratic. On the spiritual side, we need to discern this spirit operating and influencing people around us before it strikes. We need to discern the motives of people who draw close to us in this season as so many opportunities are arising. We need to pray and watch, discern and learn. Discernment is the key to escaping the knife. Jesus discerned his Judas. Julius didn't discern his Brutus until it was too late. Discernment can help us avoid plenty of pain in all areas of our lives. I pray God will increase you in wisdom, discernment, and sensitivity to his spirit so that you will perceive his warnings about even the most unlikely betrayers and guard your heart. And I think that's happened a whole lot to our president. People that he's promoted to cabinet positions and everything have turned and betrayed him.
Well, it's kind of like Satan, he just turned loose and it's in time.
Absolutely.
He can.
It is. It's part of the end times. It absolutely is.
Yeah, and
And-
everything, yeah.
Absolutely. So we just have to guard against it, and that's one reason why we're continually praying for discernment, discerning of spirits, what's driving a spirit. And what's bad with this particular one, it can also cause us to be cautious of forging friendships. This word tells us to be cautious about it and everything, but it can also raise walls up. You know?
And what we can do when we see things come against us and pray about it, that's all we can do is pray about it.
Yeah. Anyway, I wanted to share that with you all because it spoke to me, and in such a time as this, I think it's something we need to be reminded of and warned against. Anyway, but Pastor Jamie, all right, we ready to worship?
Tithes and offerings and let's work.
Yeah, that was it, tithes and offerings. We have the offering plate. If everyone wants to give their tithes and offerings, the offering plate is back there. Let's worship the Lord.
Amen.
We need birthdays and anniversaries.